Hey everybody, TacticAngel here, back on the PlayStation 4, playing some World of Warships Legends. As you can see, we're going to be on Dryzak. What is that? That's Trident. And as the Gefechts begin, we will go ahead and talk a little bit about what we're looking at here today. This is a replay sent to me by MarcAkAwHiTe, or just Mark for short. He is a community contributor, and if you can't make heads or tails of the language, that is German. He is very patient when I try my very best to speak German to the other CCs in their native tongue. I'm sure I haven't embarrassed myself constantly. We'll also mention that Mark's Commander series is one of the inspirations for my Commander videos, and I make sure to watch all of his and try to understand it as best as I can. Unfortunately, Duolingo doesn't cover some of the words in World of Warships, like der Schlagkraft Multiplikator. In any case, I'll go ahead and put Mark's Commander up on the screen, and I will draw some particular note to the fact that Mark is running with Madden as his second inspiration here. The choice of Norman Scott is obviously not that surprising, considering he's going to be playing a lot of this long-range sort of let's try to burn people down gameplay, something that the Atago really specializes in. And I may have questioned the usefulness of Madden as an inspiration a couple of weeks ago. That said, Mark's going to put forward a little bit of an argument against that here. Now, as he's rolling out over here, you can see I'm trying to support him from the middle of the map. My hope is always that somebody comes shooting around that corner and we can get an early deletion. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, people tend not to play Tier 7 games too aggressively, which is, well, it is a thing. And as you can see, Mark's also sporting the Azure Lane camo, probably the most attractive camo of all of those particular options. Probably the one that I can say I legitimately like. In any case, he's finding himself kind of alone over here. You can see the team's starting to black hole towards the middle of the map, tending towards the east. I am not helping that too terribly much, but obviously I have to either turn out into the open or turn around by making 3 rights to make a left. You will note my my lack of coordinating gameplay here. Unfortunately, that may be a bit of a spoiler in and of itself, but we'll talk to that when we get there. Now, Mark is doing the wise thing. And the wise thing often is, even if you're the smartest person in the game, the smartest person in the game usually realizes that they can't take a flank all by themselves. So, yeah, your team might be playing like idiots, I guess you could say. But, like, you shouldn't go throw your life away trying to fight 3 or 4 ships. And he is fighting a retreat. In this case, doing the age-old trick of unicums and stat patterns alike, and kind of kiting, performing some long-range gunnery. Obviously, the Tirpitz, even with Hipper as commander, is not exceptionally accurate, so he's probably okay. Doubly so because, of course, that Tirpitz looks like he has better things to do. He is still spotted, though, and there are a couple of battleships that could possibly shoot him. You can see certainly that Jean Bar. We can see the Jean Bar is paying literally no attention whatsoever to what Mark is doing. Everybody is starting to kind of push on this side. We've got Tirpitz breaking through. If you do catch what the Tirpitz is shooting at, it's probably me. Because as the black hole continues towards the east side of the map, that little green blip is kind of the only ship stupid enough to stick around the base. Now Mark is making excellent work here of essentially exploiting the fact none of them are paying attention to him. Shooting HE at that Tirpitz is just going to farm him a ton of damage because, of course, German ships are essentially tinderboxes. With one fire started there, he moves on to the Jean Bar, probably hoping to burn the damage con there. That's nice. Mark looks over. He cares about my imminent death. Oh, that's a spoiler. And there you go. Finishes off the Tirpitz, up to 61,000 damage, 1 kill, and now he is trying to get my attention to shoot at this Jean Bar. We are actually in a party together, so he also did tell me that, but it never hurts to have that arrow looking right at it. And you can also hope that the other folks on the team also notice and consider shooting at him, particularly because that Jean Bar is poorly angled to everyone that isn't me. Now you can see I'm shooting HE. I'm shooting HE just to try to help burn that damage con. And honestly, I'm probably going to bounce most of my shots off of the front of a Jean Bar because that's just how the game works. I'm starting to get a little cheeky. If I really get lucky, I might load a torpedo there. Jean Bar does burn his Damacon. Mark continues to shoot HE, and there you see he's going to have a permafire now on the front of his ship. Unfortunately, he can't count on me being around for too terribly much longer. And of course, there goes TacticAngel. Let's get out the sad violin music. Now Mark has timed this pretty excellently, crossing behind this particular island, just about cutting off the Jean Bar from actually being able to hit him. That's fantastic because, of course, that means that he really only has to worry about the Scharnhorst shooting at him. Now, the Scharnhorst has guns that are small enough that, with a decent angle, the Atago can bounce them. And certainly he is suffering from the same sort of accuracy conundrum that all of the other German battleships suffer in the game. Now, the hope is that the rest of our team is starting to work their way back towards the base, which should be of some help. But you do also see up there by the enemy base, there's somebody who hasn't really moved very far. Maybe they were in the restroom or something. And as these battleships move back from the east, they're going to be actually offering up kind of a huge target for the Iowa there in the north to shoot at. Now they're going to obviously be spotted. You've got the Scharnhorst up here. He is certainly within range to see them. Now Mark's putting some more HE out there on him. Catch the ship on fire. Their Atago is withdrawing, which is not a bad choice. Now with the Scharnhorst, he Damaconed the one fire. Honestly, sometimes you don't want to even Damacon two fires, because if you're going to get set on fire at least 2 more times, then, you know, that's not ideal. Ooh, this is looking scary. The Iowa put a broadside out there right in the middle of the turn. Thankfully, the shot lands just a little bit too far forward and a little bit too far out. Obviously, the Atago does have fantastic 10-kilometer torpedoes. There you saw we got the Gross Caliber, which is high caliber, or big caliber, I guess. And somebody was not paying attention to the torpedoes. Fantastic job there. Mark picks up his 4th kill. And as you see, with fires still burning on that Iowa, he's continuing to rack up this damage. This is just about the time that the Scharnhorst is coming around. Now, the Scharnhorst is going to have to pay attention to those torpedoes. The Scharnhorst should be able to dodge, considering he is a pretty maneuverable battleship, but does not. And you know he had to Damacon that. So now when Mark catches him on fire 2 times, that's pretty much a death sentence for that German battleship. And there you see, using that comm wheel again, essentially trying to get the other team member to shoot at that Atago, because obviously spending time on the Scharnhorst at this point is pointless. The guy is dead. Unfortunately, so is the last player on our team. Makes that Kraken Unleashed kind of bittersweet, because the really smart thing here for the enemy Atago to do, and the easy thing, the thing that actually probably the rest of his team probably want him to do, is just to turn west, keep that island between where he thinks Mark is and himself, and just win on points. He only needs to stay alive another 1.5 minutes. As far as I know, an Atago is about as fast as an Atago, so he's probably not going to get run down. Now you can see with that plane, the plane is obviously going to circle exactly where he is. And, yep, he's coming around. He does have an HP advantage. Now, I do commend Mark for not just shooting HE the entire game. Sadly, with the Atago, it's usually a better idea to do that, particularly at range. Here you see, he's getting those shells out there. Both of these Atagos are shooting at roughly the same time right there. And it's really going to get close here. Now it looks like Mark had the smallest advantage. And this is not good. 218 hit points left. Torpedoes miss. Madden boosting the fire rate just enough that Mark fires first. His shells get there before the Atago shells hit him. Who are we kidding? They were probably going to miss, right? There you see Mark on the top of the chart with a just ridiculously good game. There are a bunch of stats in German. In any case, I think it speaks for itself. 364,000 credits with a premium bonus, 182,000, 10% on the credit booster flag, and he manages to walk away with 419,000 units on 3,876 base XP. Just a fantastic game. It was a lot of fun to be in this particular game with Mark. If you understand German, or if you're not particularly worried about understanding, his videos. He is a fantastic player, and I would encourage you to give him a look. I've included a link down in the description to his channel. Thank you, Mark. I hope to see you out there again soon. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and I'll see you on the next one.